Hello. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope you're having a nice day, good weekend. Hi, hi. Love to see those familiar faces. Love it. I'm gonna start off. Yeah, this is earlier than usual. I got some time to work during the day, so I'm gonna try to. When I do have time to work during the day, which is not normally, I sometimes happens on Saturdays, and or Sundays. When I do have the time, I'm gonna try to get some streaming on during the day, because it's not something I normally do, and people may not always be able to tune in when I do my late night stuff, so I'll try to as often as I have the opportunity. I'm gonna start out the stream with like some kind of like bad news, just to get it off my chest and get out of the way. It's like stuff that I just learned about, and if you saw on Twitter, I found out that like all of my content for my Patreon, all of like my locked content had been taken and posted to another website without my permission, which is just like, oh man. And it's so funny because like just last night on my stream I was talking about like artwork getting stolen and like how it's part of it and stuff, and the very next morning I learned that this happened, which is just like of course, of course. But yeah, I mean that sucks and it's upsetting, more so because I have to like look. See, the only way to access my locked content is through pledging a certain amount of money, so that goes with the implication that one or more of the people pledging to my Patreon is like either like a fake account just for the sake of getting content, or like a bot or something, which is just really upsetting to like kind of pretend that you're like supporting someone and pledging someone money and then steal all their stuff. Just kind of like spitting in my face. So that didn't like feel too great. But I'm also upset because it affects all my like real patrons negatively, because like I give my patrons access to Dropbox links to download my art books because they're large files, and so I had to like remove those links. And I'm only gonna I'll be putting up a newer, more secure link after I weed out who exactly are the fake things, and also any payments that don't, any pledges that don't process on my Patreon this month, and they should be processing soon. I'm just gonna delete them. I'm not taking the chance. And I mentioned it on my Patreon, but like if your pledge gets deleted for whatever reason, it's only because it didn't process. It could be like a bank issue or a credit card issue or something like that. And so if that happens, I'm sorry for that, but it's a safety measure. And I will be posting the stuff up again. I've contacted Patreon to see what they can potentially do about it, because it's a security issue on their end. They shouldn't be. The system works in a way that if you pledge money, you don't actually have to pay anything before you can access a creator's locked content, which has its advantages and its very clear disadvantages, which I'm just learning about now. So, but yeah, just wanted to get that like out of the way, and like I feel better after I vent about stuff like that, but it's a bummer, because like the money from my Patreon, like I count on that for like bills and stuff, so it's not something I take lightly. So when I get pledges, I'm planning my budget around that stuff. So yeah, but I don't want to be like a downer or anything about it. I just wanted to get that off my chest and say, like I feel better now. Just getting out of my head. Doing some relaxing drawing. Might work on some commission stuff. Got some drawings I need to like shade and stuff, so I'll probably do some of that. And just generally not try to be pissed off about that whole situation, because everything I said last night still applies. Like it's stuff that comes with the territory. So. Yeah, I'm actually doing a kind of a study. I saw some of the character drawings, like reference models from Kill la Kill earlier this morning. I really like the style, so I'm kind of like trying that a little bit. I can't remember the name of the artist. Um, I know it's a very popular artist. I can just never remember the name. So I'm just trying to like kind of like execute the style a little bit. And it's like I was talking about last night too. Like doing studies and stuff is just to kind of like explore. And you know, like when you're doing a study of someone else's style, like it can be really really helpful to learn because like you might like it's not a good idea to just straight copy their style like in your own personal work. But doing studies is fine. And you may learn in doing studies that there are like little tricks they use or little techniques that you know you want to actually implement in your own work, like you know maybe the way someone draws hair, like that's if you like the way someone draws hair, like you can kind of like use that in your work and like learn from that, you know. So like taking little bits and pieces and like learning from doing is really like the key when it comes to doing studies and not just straight copying. So it's like kind of more of like a traditional anime style, pretty like cutesy style, which I really do enjoy. I get great inspiration from, and it's stuff that I try to incorporate in my own work too, from time to time. Yeah, I think it was actually I was looking at drawings of, I think it was like the mom, like I don't know. I haven't like really watched Kill la Kill, so I don't know exactly like who the characters are or anything like that. But that's what I'm like basing this off of. Yeah, I think that's who it was because it was like all the reference sheets of like a family, and I'm pretty sure that is Mako. I do know some of the characters. I just haven't watched all the way through. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and it really just didn't grab me. I really did. I really do love the style though. The style is really amazing. And I have watched other animes. I'm pretty picky, and I don't watch them all the time. It's kind of like a pretty like seldom thing for me. But I really like Desert Punk is one of my favorites. I really like that. I really like Cowboy Bebop. I always talk about. Watched like the Blood. I can't remember what the anime is called. It's like you know the Blood Plus anime. Really cool. Um, Claymore. I really like Trigun. No, it's not considered a traditional anime, but I really like the Afro Samurai and Samurai Champloo. I mean, that one is an actual anime, but I like that one. FLCL, as short as it is. I've watched Gantz, though not in its entirety. Oh, you have to watch Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, and Evangelion is another one that I really, really love. I've watched all the movies and all of the animated ones, like the series of it. I do need to read the manga of Evangelion though, like really badly, because it looks so cool. Just need to get my hands on it really. Yeah, you have to watch Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is like if I were to tell you like one thing to watch, like that would be it. Like that's probably inspired my artwork more than any other animated anything. Akira would be a close second. So honestly, like what I like to do a lot with styles is like do like a sketch in another artist's style and then kind of like use my own line work with it, and that prevents me from copying their style outright and learns how I can incorporate aspects of their design into my style. So I'm going to go back to using my little scratchy high-tech C or G-tech C. I don't know if I'd mentioned before, the difference between high-tech C and G-tech C is all localization. High-tech C in Japan, G-tech C in the US. And I have, it's not fancy at all, but I have a iPad mounted on a camera tripod with a makeshift cardboard mount. And I actually am planning on recording a video of like my setup that I'll put on YouTube so you guys will be able to see it. But just a basic camera tripod, and then I basically just like layered cardboard and hot glue gunned it together into a mount that would hold it, and I basically just use clamps to hold it on. It actually works really well. Because you can go out and buy like really expensive mounts and stuff, but not only do I not have a lot of money to be spending on stuff like that, but I just felt like building it myself. So yeah, had kind of a frustrating morning, but feeling better about it now. And that's pretty fun, drawing like this. It totally feels like out of my comfort zone, which it's good to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Yeah, so I decided to do a little bit of that today. Maybe it doesn't turn out the greatest, and maybe not like feels like exactly what I'd want to do, but it's good to like try new things. And like I always say, like finding out what you don't like or what doesn't work for you is just as helpful as finding out what you do like and what does work for you. And thank you. I don't know exactly. I'm still not sure exactly like what my style is and like what are the key aspects to it, but I'm always trying to stay fresh, try new things, and keep it developing, even if I don't know exactly where it's going. I think it's really important not to get like stuck. And I'm not used to drawing eyes like that, so they look kind of wonky. Like drawing more like angular eyes with like little pupils, and I think that's just more like what I like to draw, more what I'm used to, more than anything else. So I draw big eyes that looks like totally off. That's strange. Maybe it might be like a character limit thing or something like that. I don't know. I don't like post comments, so I don't really know how it works.
Alright.
I tried to call you, let you know I was
Okay.
coming.
There's somebody at the door, sorry.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. There's a lot of people coming and going around my place, so that's part of it. And like honestly, like I'm doing this side, and like it felt good penciling, but it's not really feeling good inking right now. I think that's just maybe because like I'm trying to do too much with the line work, because like the image I was studying off of had like really simple line work. So I'm actually gonna like leave this here just because I'm not really feeling it, and I'm not gonna keep going with it. But we'll try to do something else, and something maybe kind of like an in between, more of a hybrid of maybe like more of a hybrid, something more comfortable. But like I was just saying, it's good to try stuff, and if you're not feeling it, I really did like the way the hair is styled, because like something I always do is draw hair like really close to the head, and that's kind of like, I don't know, I like kind of like thinner hair. I think that's more of like the way I draw. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff of like really, like bigger hair, like poofier hair that like kind of like shapes around the head more, which is I kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting stuff. I In regards to the question, somebody asked if I draw just as a hobby. Definitely not. This is certainly like my career path, and I do work. I do freelance work, and I do actually make money. So it's pretty much what I consider my job. I started out as a hobby artist, just drawing for fun and in my free time, and like doodling at work and stuff. And then I got more serious about it. In the last couple of years that I've been more serious, that's when I've been like, like really pursuing, like actually like moving in the direction of making a career, and just trying to establish myself in general. I like drawing ears. I like hairstyles that show the ears, just because I enjoy drawing them. And see, like, when it comes to the eyes, and like noses, I'm always kind of on the fence about. Like, sometimes I draw noses, and sometimes I'm just like, no noses. No noses here. And, yeah, I don't know. I always kind of like tussle with myself about that. It's like, should I be drawing noses? Like, or is it okay to not draw noses? Like, I don't know. I think it's okay to not draw noses, but I always go like back and forth on it. Yeah, noses are just kind of awkward. I kind of do like the animation style where you just draw like the shadow under the nose, or like just like a little line to indicate where it would be. I think that actually works really well for kind of like leaving some information to the imagination. I like drawing little like, like even like serpentine or like cat-like pupils, just like little slits. I don't know. It's not like humanoid at all. I just like the aesthetic. And so I'm gonna kind of, and see, this is like my in-between. So I did that study of girl in like a tracksuit type thing, and this is kind of my in-between. So I'm drawing a girl in a tracksuit with just more like in my style, but like still taking some notes, like the head shape. I kind of took that, and kind of like the shape of the hair, like building it on top of the head rather than making it like flat to the skull, and having it like stick out more in the back, like kind of poof out. And I think it depends on, as far as drawing the nose goes, I think it depends on like what style I'm drawing in, because sometimes I draw in a slightly more realistic style, and I think when I do that I tend to draw the nose more. And if I'm working in a more like stylized manner, then you can get away without drawing the nose, or just doing like little nose highlights, because it's stylized, so it kind of just fits that whole aesthetic. But if you're drawing like photorealism and you draw a person without a nose, then it's kind of like, it looks odd. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe that's your artistic statement. And yeah, I mean, like, I had this conversation with my wife a little while ago. Like, just to, I always like bother her for like outside perspective on my art. And I was like, is it okay to not draw noses? Like, could I get away with that? Basically, was the question I posed. And she's like, you'll just be that guy that doesn't draw noses. Like, you'll be that guy. I'm like, maybe I'm okay with being that guy. So I've kind of like, if I'm drawing like a head-on, like just straight-on perspective, then I'll just draw like little highlights under the nose, if I do any nose at all. If I do a profile, then it's kind of hard to draw a profile without a nose. So that kind of creates another issue. You can kind of just not draw profiles, and that'll get you out of a lot of issues. Because like, you'd be surprised, like, you can totally get away with not drawing profiles. Because, to be honest, like, profiles are pretty boring. Like, they're really flat. There's really no depth to them. So it's actually not a bad idea to kind of, even if you don't just stop drawing profiles outright, to like avoid drawing them. Especially in comics. Unless the panel really calls for it. Unless you have like a side view, and it really calls for a side view, then you can get away with a little profile action. But I'd say most of the time, especially in comics, you want to avoid drawing profiles. Especially when characters are talking and stuff, because it flattens out the face. This is all my opinion too, so if you really love drawing profiles, then keep doing your thing. Yeah, and that's profiles do look weird, and especially if you're drawing stylized, and that's kind of like what I'm talking about, is like the challenge there. So yeah, this feels like a little closer to home, while also kind of taking some notes from other styles. And this is kind of like how, kind of like people ask like, how do you build your style? How do you develop your style? This is probably the closest I can say to like how I actually do it. And I'm gonna go back to fountain pen and do a little bit of that. Just because I wasn't feeling the last pen at the moment. I do love that pen, but I just wasn't feeling it in that moment there. So I'm going to try to change it up a little bit. I really admire artwork that's drawn with like a few simple lines. Mostly because it's really impressive what you can do with a few simple lines, but also because my style is so far from that. I like drawing a lot of not simple lines, and that's just the way it like feels good for me to draw. So that's what I do. And like from time to time, I'll try that style with like just trying to cut down on my line count, and I always have a really hard time with it. Like it feels like I'm just going against like my nature with drawing. Like I just love to draw a lot of like scribbly complex lines, and like trying to simplify things has always been really tough for me. But it's always something I try to keep doing. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's always something I try to keep doing, just because it's so far off from my style. I think it's good to look to incorporate elements from styles that are like really dissimilar to your own, because things you wouldn't think of doing like can make a huge difference and like add a lot to your work. Always loved those like big ridiculous cowlicks. So much fun. So yeah, always try new stuff. Just said always like 6 times, and that was an accent. I was kind of stuttering, but it works for emphasis too. And while, like, I've been talking about new styles, but new pens, new papers, new music, new drawing environments, like everything, like always try new stuff, because you never know what's going to have the slightest effect on your art in a negative or a positive way. And thank you. I think that's probably what I strive for. To be simple yet detailed. Love detail. Very few things I love more than just drawing gratuitous detail. I'm like really concentrating right now. I just noticed I wasn't talking at all. And yeah, I do like to answer questions and stuff on the stream. And I haven't said it for a little bit, but if you have a question that you pose in the stream, in the comments, and I miss it or I don't address it, don't hesitate to post it again. Because sometimes I'm not looking at the screen, or if something comes up and I like just see the tail end of it, then I didn't get a chance to read it. Because I am drawing right now, so I'm mostly looking at the paper. And glancing at the screen whenever I do see a message come up. So yeah, if I gloss over your question, it's not because I don't want to answer it, just because I'm distracted. Do I prefer drawing good guys or bad guys, or like heroes or villains? Not. I wouldn't say I really have a preference. Um, Mostly because, like, my character design, when I do my character design, like, kind of like, my idea is that, like, there's really no clear heroes or villains, like, and I think that's something that's been, like, a theme that's been a lot more popular lately, that, a lot of media that you see a lot more in media of, like, kind of like, more blurred lines between what is considered like good and evil, whereas like the golden age of comics, like there was Superman and then there was, Lex Luthor. Like it was very clear who is good and who is bad, and that changes with the times. And I think the times we live in, like everything is so convoluted, it's hard to tell like what you'd consider good and what you'd consider evil. So I like making characters that kind of keep you guessing. Um, on that same note, evil characters are certainly fun to draw for their own reasons, and heroic characters are fun to draw for their own entirely different reasons too. Because like in a story, if like some guy's clearly evil, then you know that he's evil and he needs to be stopped. And it's kind of like shallow as far as character development goes, because that character, can't really develop. Like he's evil, and that's what he's going to be, and it's not going to change. But like making a character that like goes back and forth, or like does evil things for motivations that one wouldn't necessarily consider evil, like that's where it gets really interesting. Because then it's hard as a reader to say like, oh, like can I actually like root for this guy, or like do I feel bad for him? Yeah, definitely characters like Zuko. And yeah, like I said, that's something that you see a lot more, and you've seen a lot more in the last few years in media. And I think that's just, kind of centers around the climate, the world, the society that we live in. Whether people intend it to or not, I did see the question about fast food, favorite fast food. I try not to eat it that much, but man, In-N-Out is always going to be my favorite. And if you guys don't know In-N-Out, it's a West Coast thing, primarily California. I think there's a handful of them in Nevada and Utah. But yeah, In-N-Out, man. If I'm getting fast food, that's what it's going to be. Yeah, I never watched or read Death Note, but from what I understand about the story, what people have told me and stuff like that, yeah, it had a lot of those themes. And that's how to that's a great way to if you're writing stories or comics or whatever, that's a great way to not only toy with but evoke emotion in your readers, is to kind of keep them guessing as to whether they should be rooting for a character or not, or like I said, like feeling bad or anything like that. And yeah, like don't feel bad if you're asking like what you'd consider like irrelevant questions. I'm down to talk about whatever. My favorite teas. I don't know. I love tea in general because I was a huge coffee drinker and I stopped drinking coffee, and so obviously I went to tea. I just love a really good like black tea, and I'm not really picky when it comes to black tea, but I really like Earl Grey. I really like like an English breakfast or an Irish breakfast, like anything like that, with like some citrus, unsweetened, maybe with a little bit of milk. But yeah, I don't know. I just like designing characters in general. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that in my comic book when that starts getting on the road. Lots of gray areas, and that's a narrative I wanted to explore pretty heavily. I did see that question about favorite TV series, and I also saw I'm going to address the question first about like what do I find hardest to draw. The thing I find hardest to draw is probably. That's a good question. There are a lot of things I consider difficult to draw, that are all pretty common. I think like feet and hands, because they're so complex and expressive, and like identifiably human. So if it looks off, then you notice it right away. Oh wow, I just like smeared the crap out of that down there. That's okay. I don't really mind. I always found cars really difficult to draw, like convincing cars, because like especially with people riding in them, or if you're drawing them in a scene with people, because I have the hardest time making cars look like the appropriate size. And it's a really like difficult thing to consider in like three-dimensional space when you have people running around. Like, it's really easy to make a car look like there's no way a person could fit inside that. Or at the same time, like somebody could be like, this car is so big somebody could be standing up inside of it. I always had that issue with like drawing accurately sized cars. And so I tend to avoid drawing cars as like much as possible. But they're also something that I practice pretty regularly. But thankfully, and this is, not entirely an accident, the comic book that I'm working on is set in a time period where cars are not possible, so I won't have to draw any cars. Because, like, not to say that I can't draw them, because I can. It's just mostly an issue, like, when I do, it's so time-consuming, because I spend so much time, like, I have to spend so much time correcting it and making it accurate. Man, yeah. But, yeah, hands are difficult, like I said, with feet, because like they're so identifiably human. A lot of people really do like drawing hands. I'm just like, not that I don't think I'm particularly bad at drawing hands. They just terrify me. Like they make me nervous. I had a couple other questions. Yeah, I do listen to music while I'm drawing. The only reason I'm not now is because I had copyright issues with YouTube, because I am posting these replays up to YouTube for people to watch later and to like keep a collection. So I've been not drawing with music, because if I draw with music, that's copyrighted, and YouTube like detects it now. So if I post it with copyrighted music in it, then you won't be able to view the video. And I don't want that, so I'm just avoiding drawing with music on the streams. When I get to I may get to a point where I'll have music on in the background, but nothing's for sure right now. So yeah, that was another frustration I just dealt with. Fairly recently. Favorite TV show that's on TV right now is MasterChef. I love MasterChef. It's like watch it with my wife, and we love cooking, so it's fun to watch. Historically, my favorite series is Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, Chopped is good too. I do also like Chopped. I just love watching the Food Networks. I love food. Love getting ideas and learning stuff. Like, I was never much of a cook. Like, I was like a campfire cook. I was in Boy Scouts and like learned to do all that stuff. And I could like barbecue pretty well. But I had never really like cooked, like actually on a stove or anything like that. So ever since, I became a father and my son was born, I've been wanting to learn to cook more. And I have been slowly. And yes, food is the greatest thing. Food is love. I'd never heard that before watching jewelry channels. Like shopping channels? I mean, they are super boring. So I guess that would work. I don't like sleeping with the TV on though. It gives me weird dreams. I had a girlfriend a while back, a while back, who had to fall asleep with the TV on, and I hated it because I would always have the weirdest dreams. Like I'd dream about the shows that were on like late at night and stuff, and it just didn't lend well to my sleep cycle. Well, I'm glad that you're choosing me over sleep right now. That makes me feel really nice. But if you need rest, then please rest. Or like sing you a lullaby or something. So yeah, like I have a bunch of stuff that I need to be working on, but I kind of got derailed by that whole Patreon fiasco this morning. So it's like trying to work up to actually doing my work that I need to do. I just want to draw girls instead. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, it's not your guys' fault at all. It's not anybody's fault except the people that are stealing people's stuff. Gosh, I sort it as much as I can. I mean, I kind of have to wait until I hear back from Patreon and I find out which pledges are going through and which aren't to like really resolve it. And sorry if I'm making a little noise here. I'm raising up the camera because it's a little bit bigger drawing. And I'm going to shade this guy a little bit. And like maybe I might not do the whole thing, but I'm going to try to do a bunch of it. Yeah, for people who weren't here when I was talking about that, all of my content on Patreon was stolen and posted to another website without my permission, which could only be perpetrated by fake pledging to my Patreon fund to access the content. And so I had to, I'm not removing everything because like the damage has already been done, but I removed the links that like link to my Dropbox and stuff because I linked to my Dropbox account so that people can download like my art book files, which are pretty big because they're larger. Some of them are larger than the attachment limit, so I had to remove all those links that link to my Dropbox because I don't want anybody having access to my Dropbox that has malicious intent. And I emailed Patreon and told them what happened, and like I said, the damage has already been done. But I guess at this point, like it's happened to some other people, and I found out about it on Twitter, or it happened to someone else, and then someone who like wasn't involved with it mentioned that I was on the list as well. So I was like, wait, what? This is the first I've heard of it. So that's how I found out about it. But it's okay. I mean, it happens, and I was talking about that just last night, that like having your work stolen is just like part of it, and like here's proof, like totally validated everything I was saying, that like it happens and it's part of it, and you're gonna have to face it eventually if you're an artist that's online. Somebody's always gonna want to be you, want to take your stuff, and like it's flattering in the worst possible way to say, oh yeah, well at least I have work that's worth stealing. But I'm always trying to reframe things in a positive way. That's just like how I deal. So yeah, I'm happy to have work that's worth stealing. No, I won't do any. I'm not going to change. I'm probably not going to change what I do. I'll probably be more careful about watching for like fake pledges and stuff, because I didn't even think that was a thing. Nothing I would have considered before. But like I said, like I really don't want to let the actions of a few buttholes affect you guys. So that's what it's about for me. Like I can be mad about this small handful of mean people that like do negative things and steal my work and stuff like that. But I reframe and focus on the fact that like I have so many like amazing, genuine fans, like all of you guys. Unless any of you are on here to steal my work, then fuck you. But I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that. That was mostly a joke. Stealing is bad. Don't steal. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, Super, with Rainn Wilson. Super funny movie. Super, get it? Super funny movie? Yeah, it's just called Super, and it's kind of like a kick-ass thing where this guy is like... Oh man, Kevin Bacon's in it. What's her name? Ellen Page? Wait. Am I thinking about the right person? But yeah, you gotta watch that movie. It's hilarious. And that's one of my favorite things to reference from that movie. Where he just like hits the guy in the face with a wrench and he's just like, don't steal. So every time somebody like steals my art, I just wanna like, I just imagine that. And it makes me feel better. Okay, let's see here. I'm actually going to hop up for a second because I have to stretch my legs, but I actually have to run around the corner to grab a paper towel because I'm going to be ink washing. So I'll be back in like 10 seconds, and yeah. Oh yeah, thanks for answering that. Yeah, IG-88 from Star Wars. He's a robot bounty hunter. Yeah. And so I'm actually going to be taping this guy down because last time when I was shading Zuckus and the paper was getting a little wrinkly, so to kind of prevent that, I'm going to use some painter's tape and just put tape loops on the edges to kind of like hold it down, to keep the paper from pulling up too much. Also to keep it in the same place, so you guys can see it well. And the question about like how do I practice drawing? I practice drawing by drawing, and basically doing all the stuff that I was talking about before. You know, like always trying to draw new stuff, trying to practice the stuff that you consider yourself to not be as good at, and trying new things, and that includes trying new styles, trying new drawing tools, trying new papers, and different like drawing methods too. And I guess like, you know, whether it be like the difference between drawing in like a coffee shop or drawing alone in a quiet space, like that can make a huge difference on your art as well. Huge difference. Let's get this. That's pretty close. You're not gonna be able to see like 100% of it. But that's probably like the closest, and I can adjust the camera if I need to. Largest piece I've ever drawn was like somewhere, I don't know the exact measurements, but it's somewhere around like 20 by 30 inches. I think it was like 22 by 34, like somewhere around there. And it's a huge ink drawing of Gray Fox and Big Boss from Metal Gear fighting. It was actually a really fun commission. Like Gray Fox was like swinging his katana, and it was a Phantom Pain Big Boss, so he was like blocking it with his prosthetic arm. It was a really fun drawing. Huge commission. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I've ever drawn. Traditionally, anyway. The art I did in art school, somebody asked if it was similar to what I do now. Not at all. But that is when I started to develop, you know, what I would consider my personal style. But I was doing a lot of like realistic drawing, like drawing it in perspective, and drawing, you know, doing a lot of still lives and photorealistic portraits and figure drawing and that kind of stuff. So that's also the reason why I don't like drawing realism right now. And I'll show you what I'm doing over here just by sliding my mat over. I'm just getting my ink ready because I'm going to be doing some ink wash shading. So I've got this little guy. I've got dropper glass with water in it. and just like put a little bit of water in there, and then a little bit of ink. Usually like equal parts, just so it's like a good dark, like not totally black, but like kind of gray-ish. And then put that, pardon my reach, my little water container is over here. I have like a little like plastic container where I drop brushes or inky stuff that I don't want rolling around my desk. So I got a little bit of ink in just a bottle cap, so I can dip into. And I usually use a water brush, like this guy. Just it's got a water reservoir in it, and like water just like can flow from the tip, and you can squeeze it, and more water will come out. But I gotta find my smaller one. That was my larger one. Because I'm going to be doing all these like robot details and stuff, so I want something a little bit smaller. Yeah, and I've got also got test paper. Always want test paper before you do like ink wash shading, because you don't want to like get a bunch of ink on your brush and then put it down the paper and be like, oh, it's way too dark. So yeah, you don't want that. And also why I had to go get the paper towel, because I didn't want to, have like a mess that I couldn't like blot up really quick. Because like if you do put the ink down, you can kind of save it by blotting it up really quick with a paper towel or a napkin or a cloth or whatever you want to use. So when you see my hand off screen, it's because I'm dipping and like testing the ink. And this is the consistency of the ink I have now, which is like roughly probably like equal parts water and ink. Usually a tiny bit less ink, but just dark enough that it's good. You can squeeze water through the brush to make it lighter, or you can layer on more ink to make it darker. And that's like kind of where I like to work. I call it like the 50% opacity. It's probably close to like 30 or 40 or even less than that, but that's what I call it. So yeah. So I'm going to be doing some of this. This usually takes me quite a while, so I probably won't finish it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out like the major shadow areas first. And then kind of, for the first layer, and then kind of like go over in another layer and get like the more like detailed and finer gradations that I want put in. And I kind of like, once you've already got a wet spot, you can kind of just like dab in ink and it'll like diffuse just through the wet areas, which is kind of cool for like just really quickly and easily creating excuse me, I totally just lost my train of thought. It's not coming back either. Oh yeah, is that the Stillman and Byrne sketchbook? You picked up one of those? Best sketchbook. Best sketchbook. Yeah, I do. That is the sketchbook I use and recommend all the time. Oh, you got the Alpha series. Yeah, that's a really nice one. That's the first one I tried, actually. I use the Gamma, but all of them are great, and really just a matter of preference. But yeah, the paper quality is just like out of this world. Oh yeah. I like to use the like 5x8 size. It's not exactly 5x8. It's like 5 and change by 8 and change, but that's the size I like to use, just because I don't draw super big, and I like it to be portable as much as possible, because I'm on the move a lot. But yeah, Stillman and Byrne is an excellent brand of sketchbooks that I think not a lot of people know about, because they're fairly new. Yeah, if you like, you want to look for a sketchbook that will not let you down, like that's the one. Oh yeah, that's true. The nice thing about Stillman and Byrne though, and someone did mention that the sketchbooks come wrapped, so you can't feel the paper. And I've mentioned this before. If you email them, which you can find the email on the website, Stillman and Byrne, if you just Google it, they'll send you a free sample pack of paper. of like all their major papers that are in their sketchbooks. So you can, and they're like postcard sized sheets, so you can try it and like kind of feel out what you like. And that's what I did, because I originally bought an Alpha series sketchbook, because that's what I just thought, like Alpha, like let's start with Alpha and try that one first. Yeah, I noticed there were a bunch of other sizes, so I emailed them and asked if they did anything with paper samples. They said yeah. They said, we just asked people to email us and ask for one. Send them your address, and they'll mail it to you. Stillman and Byrne, yeah, spelled just like that. And I use the Gamma series, that they have like 6 or 7 different variations, and they're all the alpha, beta, zeta, gamma, blah blah. They're all just different kinds of paper. Yeah, they're slightly more expensive than like a sketchbook you can find at like Michael's or something like that. But worth every penny, every single one. Yeah, and they have like that's their business model, is they have a commitment to, the quality of the paper. That's what's most important to them. Creating a tool that artists want to use and don't have to compromise for at all. Because a lot of times with the sketchbook I was choosing, like I was compromising one aspect. I was either compromising, like the ability to use watercolors, or portability, or having something with rings on it. I hate sketchbooks with rings on them for carrying them around, because they get stuck in your bag and then the rings bend, and it's just, you have a hard time turning the page. Like, don't even get me started. I'm already getting started, like getting like heated talking about it. So I was kind of like at that impasse, and then I found Stillman and Byrne, and they were just like the perfect sketchbook. It's everything I want. I honestly think that, like, for my entire lifetime, like, I will probably use Stillman and Byrne. I'm sorry it's a little blurry down there, and while I'm working on his arm, it's pretty dark, so it's pretty dark anyway. There's not a lot to see. I know. I wish I could. Like, if I could honestly, like, work out a deal with them, because like plug their products so much on Twitter and stuff, and they're always like, man, thank you. And they even contacted me to feature one of my drawings in like their newsletter. Maybe I should be like, hey, like, I'll sell my soul to you and draw with your sketchbook for the rest of my life if you just like give me free sketchbooks. Like, that's all I would really want. Like, I don't even need money. Just give me free sketchbooks. That's as good as money, because I buy one of these like every month. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is money, because I would be spending money on the sketchbook, so I'm saving that money. They're on Amazon, so as long as you can get stuff off of Amazon, you should be able to get them. Amazon. Heard of Amazon, not Amazon. I don't know what you're talking about. I do want to take a moment to give a little shout out to Lemonade Dinner. Those of you in YouTube are going to have no idea what I'm talking about, but pretty sure you've been on every single one of my Periscope streams since I've started doing it. And I think there's probably a handful of other people that have been as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure every single one. So that's yeah, just like thank you. And you're always like very active and very helpful and stuff. I just want to say thank you. You're awesome. And I mean, in general, everybody here is awesome, and thank you. Not trying to say the rest of you are less awesome. You're all awesome to me. It's like picking a favorite child. Like, can't do that. Can't do that. Good thing I only have one. Yeah, and that's why I don't have time normally to draw during the day during the week, because on the subject of kids, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and so I don't really have that option. So on the weekends, I will, as often as I'm able to, try to stream during the day, because yeah, I do realize that the time zones suck, and that's also another reason that I put all of the recordings up on my YouTube channel. So you can watch them later. I know, like being live in the stream is probably much more desirable, but I'm trying. And so yeah, I also like drawing during the day too, because normally during the weekend, because my wife works during the week, so I normally tell her to, like, go take your son, like spend some one-on-one time with your son, so you don't get it as much during the week. And that's the time I take advantage of to like work and stuff too. Yeah, I'm trying to post all of them. My YouTube channel is just under Merrick Duraki, just like my name. And with most of my stuff, if you go to the website, and like on Gumroad or Patreon, and you search for my name, you should be able to find me. I do take inspiration from my son sometimes. He's 2, so he's still doing a lot of like scribbling and stuff when he draws, but he likes to use all my art supplies. Like I buy the kid crayons and markers and stuff, and he wants to use like my nice pens, so I have to like supervise him. But I give him stuff every once in a while. He knows the most surprising things. I think just through watching me, he learned how to like hold a pen, because like I never really taught him. And a lot of it's natural for a lot of kids to like do the fist when they draw, because like that feels right. But ever since he started coloring, he's always drawn with his fingertips, which I found really, really interesting. But like even when he was like a little baby, like I would have him like napping on my lap, and like drawing with him just hanging out. So he's been around it since day one, which is really crazy to think about. He's just like, man, he just picks up so much. He's just a sponge, and I think kids are at that age. Like they just soak up everything. They learn everything. I'm not trying to say like my son's like special or anything. I mean, he is. He's mine, so he's special. But yeah, kids are amazing, man. Like it's rare to go an entire day where I'm not like surprised by something, or something catches me off guard. I love it. I love being a dad. Just the other day, I have a big stack of my comic books that I'm selling. My short comic book next to my desk. He like comes over and grabs them and asks me to read them to him. Like I almost lost it. Oh, I missed that last comment. I just saw like the tail end of it because I just looked down. And I know somebody had asked before, to kind of like segue and change the subject, like how I practice drawing. And they asked if I do like gesture drawings or stuff like that. And I did say that I practice drawing by like doing it. I don't really draw gesture drawings. I did. I don't regularly. I do from time to time just to like practice and get the kinks out if I need to, or if like I'm practicing a pose for a commission or something and I'm trying to figure it out, then I'll draw a bunch of gestures to show to the client so they can kind of see a bunch of different options. I don't really like do it all that often, but I do it, and it's a good skill to have, and especially when you're learning. Like when you're first learning, drawing gestures can be really helpful. You get to a point where you kind of like don't need to do it anymore because it's like natural to you, and kind of like becomes part of your muscle memory. But it's definitely good to practice. And yeah, those are the names of my comic books. VUTL is the one that's not printed yet. The one that you can like learn about on my Patreon, and I show all the development process on my Patreon for that. And Mother Made Us to Die is the physical one that I'm selling on Gumroad. And my Gumroad store also has like digital art books and stuff. But you can go to gumroad.com/sharkbaby, all one word, or search my name. You'll be able to find it. And yeah, I do ship internationally. It just costs a couple bucks extra, just because I have to pay extra for the shipping. But I'll ship anywhere, as long as the site allows it. I'm pretty sure the site allows shipping and billing from anywhere, so that should be fine. Yeah, they should be going out. They should be going out. I keep saying they're gonna go out, and I'm pretty sure it'll be this week. I'm really like, I know they're pretty delayed at this point. Some people bought some like a while ago, but I gotta do all the drawings inside of them and like plan my trips to the post office. So it'll be really soon. It'll be really soon, I promise. Gumroad, yeah, it's one word, but yeah, gumroad.com. I'll actually probably start. Actually, wait, like, I'll actually do it right now because I do need to take a break. I thought about this last night, and I want to do like a little promotion, because I can do that on Gumroad for people watching on Periscope, so you can get like a code to type in to get like $1 off or something like that. And I know some of you have bought my comic book already, so like, I'm sorry, like, you're not going to get the promotion now, but you can also use it to, hold on, how do I do it? To get my other art books as well. Get like $1 off. I know there's a way. Do I have to do it when I'm posting a product? I don't think so. Yeah, sorry, I had to take a little break to like rest my hand for a minute anyway, so I'm just going to do this while I'm here. And if you have any questions, let me know. How do I do it? I thought I could just do a promotion from my profile. Huh. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, you looked up that Hobbit book? Yeah, you don't have to ask art questions. That's cool. I'm down. I'm down to just like chat too. Favorite mythological animal? That's a tough one. I actually have a huge like encyclopedia of mythological creatures on my desk to just kind of like look up and get inspiration from sometimes, and they're all like really. Some of them are like really abstract, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I've always really liked. What's it called? Like enchanted suits of armor that like have been like brought to life. I think they're called like Dullahans or Durahans or something like that. Basically like possessed suits of armor. Sharknado. That's not a myth. Sharknado is real. That's where you got that wrong. Oh, so I do have to go to the product. So I have to do it by product. And so I'll do a promotion for I'll do a promotion for my comic and a promotion for one of my art books. So just let me do that really quick. I was gonna get it set up beforehand, but I forgot, so my fault. Offers, yes. Oh, okay, that's stupid. Okay, that's stupid. I can do it for all products, but I have to go to edit one product, which I thought was kind of dumb. Alright, so I'm going to do the offer. I'm setting it up now. And, wait, so it's a code or I have to do it? Sorry guys, just kind of feeling my way through right here. Name must be provided. I did provide the name. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now it's done. Jeez. Okay, so if you... Wait, do you have to go through the URL? Oh, that's weird. Okay, okay. I mean, wait. Okay, so if you want to try it, I think if you do the offer code periscoping, and that's like periscoping without a G, it should work. It told me to provide a URL, but since it's for all products, I don't think you should have to use a URL. I think in the purchase field, if you just go to, because yeah, that's just for the product. So I think if you go to the product URL and then just do / periscoping at the end, it should work. Or if there's like a purchase field for like a code or something like that, just do periscoping, just like that, and you should get $1 off any of my products. If it doesn't work, if you try and it doesn't work, let me know, and I'll find a way to share the URL. Because it gave me a specific, like a product-specific URL, but since I set it up for all products, I don't think you should have to use that. But we'll find out. This is a pretty new thing, so. Oh yeah, I was just on my computer setting up that offer on Gumroad, and yeah, like I said, it's $1 off if you use periscoping. So yeah, I missed your question. If you want to repost that, go ahead. The pilot pen. Oh, the multi-pen? Yeah. This one? Or something else. If it's a multi-pen, yeah, you have to buy cartridges for it. When you buy the body, you just get the body, and you have to buy the inserts. The other one, the G-Tech C, you can buy. Oh, orange lid. Oh, I don't know if I've used that one on stream. Maybe talking about this one. Parallel pen, yeah. I was using those for a while. I was using those pretty exclusively for like a month, and I stopped using them for a little bit just to do different stuff. Yeah, you can buy ink cartridges for those. The thing about them, and they're really great pens. The thing about them is I really hate the stock ink. The stock ink is not like totally black. It's kind of like a really like dark blue black. So if you get it wet, you can see that it like kind of separates blue. And I really hate when inks do that. It's not waterproof at all, and the ink feather is really bad. So what I recommend is you can buy a converter for them, which is the Pilot Converter 50. Yeah, that's the one. You can buy a converter for it, which is what I do, or you can refill the cartridges with your own ink, which is what I recommend. Because they're great pens. They're really fun to use. They're really like a unique tool. Because you don't really see a lot of like metal-tipped calligraphy pens that work in that way. You see like metal tip like dip pens. It's the Con 50, CON 50 converter from Pilot. But they're really unique because they feature two parallel plates, which that the ink flows through, and like there's like no other pen to my knowledge that does that. At least not the way that those pens do it. So they're a really unique drawing tool. I have a love-hate relationship with those pens. They're really fantastic pens, but they don't afford you a lot of space to do like detail. And they lay down a lot of ink, so I don't know. Like I just have a love-hate relationship with them. Yeah, they're pretty scratchy. Depends on how you use them. Like you can use the edge. They're supposed to draw like a flat line, but if you use like the corner of them, they're super scratchy. But sometimes almost like to the point where they'll catch on the paper and spit ink. But I go back and forth with them. I use them a lot for like filling in big black spaces or like drawing panel lines for comic books because can create some really unique like line textures and stuff like that. But yeah, I always have them in my collection because I do go back to them a lot. Pretty fun pens to use. And really affordable. Really affordable. Yeah, just like ink washing is like a slow process. I kind of like totally didn't do that whole thing where I said I was going to do like one layer and then do another layer on top of it. Because oh yeah, Sam. It's the latest meme craze. It's not, I'm sorry. That was pretty funny though. I enjoyed that. Had a good laugh. Yeah, no one else's exclusive meme. Oh, is that the barometer for Imager is the barometer for measuring memeness? How dank a meme it is? For the sake of people who don't know what it is, and just because I thought it was funny, I think it was last night in the pledge, somebody was referring to something I said or a comment I made and said, "Yeah, Sam," instead of "Yeah, same," and so I kind of just like totally blew it out of proportion. This is pretty hectic. Drawing robots is always like super intensive. It's a pretty big commitment, especially if you're planning on shading it, because it's a lot of shit to shade. But I like it. It's kind of soothing. Yeah, sorry for everybody that's confused. I fear that will probably I'll probably have running narratives on my stream that people mention because I have so many people that like return time and time again, and like new people have no idea what I'm talking about. Like inside jokes on my stream, and then I'll start repeating them in real life, and like people will just be like, "What?" Like this guy. Can't even talk to this guy. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's like the most narrow niche ever. Oh yeah, it's one of those like one of Merrick's Periscope jokes. Like who? But you guys know. That's what's important. You know. You can act like you don't know, but you know. What is Americ? Never heard of it. Sometimes I don't even know what I am. Getting kind of out of hand. Sorry, so yeah, I mean, like, I'm a professional and stuff, you know? Like, if you... Nobody would ever know that. Should probably study. Probably study. Don't wanna, like, I refuse to be responsible for any failed exams. Like, please don't put that pressure on me, please. I couldn't live with the guilt. I probably could. To be honest, I could live with the guilt. I just feel bad for like a little bit. So I do care, just, you know, a little bit. Oh man, now there's puns being made out of a meme that started on my Periscope stream. It's just getting too deep. Getting too deep here. I can't handle it. Oh man. Oh man. I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. Like, I'm totally not upset anymore either about all that bullshit. So, you guys helped with that, so thank you. No, don't abandon the stream. Stay a while. Listen. I'm gonna start making, like, game references that nobody knows about, and like, just basically gonna start talking in, like, a language that nobody understands. Like, all memes and references. It's gonna be like the language of the future. There's gonna be all sorts of, like, parents talking about it when they're, like, still on Facebook 20 years from now. Be like, have you heard about that new meme language? I don't get it. Is it like a satanic thing? It's a bad influence on our children. That Tumblr website. Actually, I saw a post on Tumblr that was like some parent posting on, like, Yahoo Asks or something like that, asking if same was a curse word, because I guess from this post, like, the parent described it. Her daughter, like, knocked over a chair and, like, stared at the chair and said same, and the mom thought it was like a swear. I was like, oh man. I hope I'm never that parent. Oh my gosh, I hope I'm never that parent that's like, there's some new, like, trend or something, and oh man, I just hope that's not me. I just, like, couldn't even. And make it a sweat word. Yeah, there's another one. Don't sweat the sweat words. I sweat. I'm just gonna shut this stream down. I sweat, you guys. I sweat. It was like just like police like busting up a party. Like, all right, go home. Time to get out of here. Party's over. Oh man. Excuse me while I stretch. Excuse me. Totally had like a thing in my back. Just had to stretch it out for a second. Sweat it out. I might actually finish this guy. I swear, don't make me turn off the comments. I'm just kidding. I never do that. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I have that power. I know I can like lock. I know I can like lock the streams so that like only invited people can see them. And, like don't worry. I'm never gonna do that because I won't use it for like anything personal that I wouldn't want people to see. But I can see why people would want to do that. They're like wanting to stream to their families and not public. I think somebody asked if you can watch the streams online, and that was a long time ago, and I apologize. You totally can. You totally can. There's a website. I can't remember the name of the website, and it's not like an official Periscope website, but like one that somebody made where you can see all the Periscope streams that are live. And I think like I actually get a lot more viewers than I think I do because of all the online, all the people that are watching online from websites. And no, I would never kill your freedom of expression, ever. Like, I'm an artist, like, that would be just so, like, backwards of me to do that. Why the long faces, guys? Everything's gonna be okay. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that worked with, like, the Twitter links. I didn't know that you could do that. That's cool. But also, I'm never clicking on my own links, like, that wouldn't really make sense, so I guess that's why I would never learn that. Honestly, there aren't that many artists that I've like tried to watch on Periscope, and when I do, I just do it through the app. So I did not know that. But that's cool. Thanks for letting me know. It's like I'm still pretty new to this, so I don't know all the like little fancy features and stuff. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, I always got lemon grabs hanging out. It feels good to know that's the kind of crowd that I attract. Oh man, I love lemon grab. He's another thing that I always reference that people never get. I mean, like older people. I always scream like unacceptable, and like people are like, whoa, calm down. Like, oh yeah, sorry, it's a reference. Like, why are you screaming at me? Like, it's a show. I'm not weird, I promise. I'm totally weird. I have no idea how this got like so where it is right now. I've actually like still been watching Adventure. I actually don't think I'm caught up. I haven't watched it in like the last like maybe like 4 or 5 months. So I don't know like what's been on the air lately, and I need to catch up on it. I mean to like I just like unconditionally love Adventure Time. Um, I just love it, and I love how weird it is. But, like the last stuff I like really remember watching was with like, well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. I need to catch up. That's all I'm gonna say. Spoiling it would be unacceptable. Get it? I also don't want to scream because I think there's somebody napping upstairs. So because like it's impossible to do like the lemon grab scream without like raising your voice to like near full volume. So, but I can do it. I can do it. I may just like go outside and do like a 10-second scream where I just like scream like lemon grab, and then get arrested. It's also like really, really taxing on your voice to try to like get that loud and that high pitched and like make your voice crack like he does. Oh god, it like really hurts. I have no idea how the actor that plays him like can do that. Well, apparently we had the same thought. Probably at the same time. I think the comments are just a little delayed. Yeah, if I made a Patreon video of just me like screaming, I'm sure that would get me a ton of new patrons. Like, oh, this guy's art sounds like seems cool. Like, I want to go check out his Patreon. Maybe pledge $1 or something. Like, support his stuff. And then it's just me like screaming like a mad person on my video. And they're like, oh, never mind. I'm not gonna enable this guy. Like, this guy clearly has got too much time on his hands. Or maybe it'll get me like sympathy money. I don't need sympathy money. I don't need that. Or people will get the reference and be like, "Oh, this guy's the funniest person in the entire world." Come for the screaming, and maybe I'll draw something. I'll just kind of like just scream at you for like an hour. Why don't you pay for that? Get that for free. Just, like piss off your parents or something. Or your significant other. You scream that for free. You don't need to pay me to do that. On a side note, the art is also nice. Thank you. Yeah, he's been fun. He's been fun. You can be here for whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here, to be honest. And I haven't said thank you in a while, so thanks for coming by and hanging out and spending part of your Sunday with me. And talking about nonsense and, all that good stuff. I mean, I haven't talked about any, like, robot butt plugs, so that's an accomplishment on its own. Or maybe not. Maybe that's a bad thing. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I really like that you guys come and hang out. Yeah, and learn stuff. Whether it be that like I'm totally unstable human being, or that some like art tips and stuff. Oh man, it's almost Monday. Oh, it's late then. Oh, it's so nice that you're spending time with me instead of sleeping. that's like really sweet in a way, but also like don't let me be the reason like you don't get good sleep. You can always watch the replays later. I am flattered. I am flattered. Sleep is for old people. Sleep is for me. I'm old. I need to sleep like on the regular, or I just like shut down. It's like it's 2:45 here. I'm hanging out, drawing, drinking a little beer, creating memes that will never see the light of day. Oh man, is that coming out? Phantom Pain? I'll never get to play that game. Bye. Bye. Have a good day, night, morning, whatever. See you next time. Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully I didn't like scare anybody off. Oh, I'm gonna go eat some cake after this. There've been like birthday parties and stuff. There's cake in the fridge. I'm gonna get at it. Spend some alone time with my cake. And probably just eat some like cake for lunch, to be honest. It's like I had like a shake and like a meal replacement this morning, and those like I have one that's really great that like, keeps me full for like a really long time. So I usually don't feel like eating until like 2. So I'm gonna have some cake. Oh, I can taste it. This is almost done. I can also taste the cake. As soon as I finish this, the cake will be mine. That'd be super concerning. You could do it with like a card. You know, you can like record. They sell those cards that you can like record a personalized message on. You just like scream wildly into it. And give it to them, but like not go to their birthday party. So then they open it in front of all their like friends and families. It's just like this like horrible scream. Or you could give it to them like a couple days before, and like pretend on the recording that you were being like murdered or something, and then call them after they open it. Be like, "Happy birthday! I'm not dead. That's your present." That'd be pretty funny. Whoa, got some yelling going on. I don't even know. Like I looked away from the comments for a minute. Now I have no idea what's happening. I was just talking about. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh man, Twinkies. Those things. I love them, but I hate them. Because they taste so good, but they like make me feel terrible like literally 5 seconds after eating it. Like, it's totally insane. And I used to eat that stuff all the time when I was a kid. All the time. Like, I have like a really bad sweet tooth. I mean, I'm talking about going to eat cake for lunch. Like, it's a problem. Man, I used to love Twinkies. And like, I just buy like the boxes of them, like the big, like, had like 10 of them inside. And just eat the whole box. Like, just no regrets. And like now, like I can barely take a bite, and I'm just like, ugh. Just immediately feel like I'm gonna die. Man, what is happening? What is happening? There's so much stuff going on right now. I can't even keep up. I'm just sitting here drawing, and like my chat is like coming alive. Or they're like for real people who don't know what Twinkies are? Is that a thing? And I see it's so funny seeing like all the minion hate, that people like hate minions or whatever. They're super annoying, but you know, my son is 2 and he loves them. So like I know they're so annoying, but I can't be that mad because my son enjoys them so much. But I must have watched Despicable Me like, oh man, like 100 times, just because he wants to watch it all the time. He thinks they're so funny. He just cracks up in every season. I actually took him to go see the Minions movie in theaters, and he had a great time. He just sits there and like mimics them. Oh no. He's 2, so he wouldn't really get it. It's a part of my life that Minions are a part of my life, and I have no choice. I just have to accept it. But man, I was talking with my wife about that the other day. That like, I don't think I've gone a single day in the last like 2, 3, probably even 4 months. I'd safely say like 2 to 3 months without seeing a minion. Like they're everywhere. Oh my god, they're everywhere. I don't think they deserve like all the hate they get, but they are super annoying. Like I will say that. I saw a post where somebody ranted about the fact that like the design is so stupid and like simple, and it's the same argument with like, you know, like abstract modern art, where it's like, you know, it's a big black dot in the middle of a painting, and someone's like, oh well, I could have done that. And the whole thing about modern art is like, you could have, but you didn't. And that's like such a stupid argument, but like I feel like that about the Minions. Like it's such a bad design, and like I could have designed the Minions, and like anybody could have designed the Minions, but somebody did it first, and somebody's making a lot of money. And like in reality, like I'm actually kind of curious about who actually designed the original Minions, because I don't know if they're probably working for DreamWorks or whatever studio, you know, made Despicable Me, and like they're probably not getting a payout for the design of the Minions. They probably got their salary and that's it. Like I really doubt that the person that actually designed the Minions is like getting royalties. So it's hard to like, you know, send hate to the person that designed them. Because really, they're probably like getting the most screwed in this entire scenario, where the Minions are just making like millions upon millions of dollars, and the person that actually created them is probably getting very, very little. Oh, jeez. We're making... Oh. Yeah, that's, you know, my demographic. Oh, you can go to my Patreon and, you know, see all my art. That's what people do at my Patreon, apparently. That was distasteful joke, but had to make it. Most of the people on my Patreon are amazing and support me very, very much, and I'm thankful for it. There's just, you know, 1 or 2 people that have soiled the experience. I did notice I lost like 10 people watching. I just can't help it. I'm like, this guy's supporting the minions? Oh, I'm out of here. The hearts are so that you can make me feel loved and that I'm not alone. Oh, I never. Minions. Can you believe it? Oh yeah, my fake wife. I'm just gonna start referring to her that way. You know, this is my fake wife. I try. Sometimes it's like my brain will just kind of like go blank for a second, and I'll just be quiet, and I catch myself doing it because like I usually draw in silence, and it's been really interesting drawing and talking. It's actually been quite helpful to my productivity, which is really interesting. But I catch myself like being. Oh no, she's real. I sweat. What? You sweat? What does that even mean? I don't get it. Saw somebody said they have to leave. See ya. See ya. Yeah, I might do. I don't know. I hope this isn't my only stream today. I might do another one if I'm able to. It really just depends on like how things work out. But maybe tonight or a little bit later in the afternoon, or maybe I won't get to it. I'll try to keep you guys updated as to what happens. Usually post on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff when I'm going to be streaming. Like today, I said, "Oh, I'll try to stream in like 30 minutes or so," and I think I was actually a few minutes late, so I apologize for that. But I was dealing with the Patreon stuff last minute, so that's where I was. Yeah. See you later. See you later. So pretty much, I actually thought this was going to take me a lot longer. I'm pretty much wrapping this guy up now. I think it's like good conversation and just like hanging out, and just like keeps me going. Like I don't want to take as many breaks because I want to be like drawing for you guys. So it's like actually like really productive for me to be streaming while I do this. It's really great. Love that the art is off topic right now. That's probably the funniest part about this. I'm just wrapping them up. Just gonna do some like billowy smoke and stuff for the background. Just because I did like the same thing with Zuckus, so I want them to be kind of similar. Because they're all gonna be displayed together in a gallery, so yeah, I want to all kind of like share the same aesthetic. And I have not watched that. Whatever that is, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not gonna try too hard. But I have not watched that. I don't know what it is. Oh, is there? Well, maybe I'll have to check it out then. Oh, thank you. This is a pretty fun piece. I've actually really enjoyed drawing this. It's taken me a little bit to like get it started. Between the time of like getting it started and wrapping it up, but pretty fun. Pretty fun. And probably the only thing I really have left to do is like. Uh-oh, that's not good. Get up earlier than usual tomorrow. No, you make me sad. You're just gonna be like cursing me tomorrow. I'm like, Merrick kept me up. Now I'm tired. Just mad about everything. Don't be mad at me. I didn't do it. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to be amazing. I'll try to be less amazing next time. This is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. Stick figure stream next time. That's what's happening. I'm just gonna draw. I think I'll probably just draw like stick figures and say like do some like totally bullshit commentary about like how I'm drawing it, like all detailed and stuff. And now you draw like the knee and stuff, and I'm just drawing like stick figures. That'd be fun. That'd be really annoying actually. I probably won't do that. 'Cause I know I would get annoyed watching that. Okay, well at least like I'm gonna stop now because like this is done. So it's like a good time to stop and like just go and get some rest. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming out, guys. Like this has been super fun stream. Lots of silliness going on. Really like lighten my mood. Pretty great turnaround from where I was earlier. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I know it's like the little stuff. I'm just gonna like do his little red eyeballs really quick while I finish up here. And yeah, well, I mean, we'll see where I'm at today. I'm gonna take a little break and eat some cake and see where I'm at. Maybe take a little nap, and hopefully I'll get to stream some later. I'll keep you guys posted. And don't forget to check out YouTube channel Merrick Jaraki if you miss any of it. And you can also view the Periscope replays on my profile. I think it's like 24 hours they stick around, so don't hesitate to check that out. And hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that if you have any like questions or comments. Like I totally love to talk to you guys. So yeah, I think that's just about it. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I love all you guys. You're all the best, and I'll get you a little. Hold on, I'll get you a little close up here. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, hopefully later tonight. We'll see what happens. Anyway, have a good one.